So this is the review of the Foxtech Diversity 7-inch monitor, and I must say that this thing is very surprising. It came out a lot better than I thought it would. It's in a lot of ways, like, I just never imagined. Like, I just, picked it up as the monitor for the camera gimbal operator, or the camera operator for my multi-rotor. But to be honest with you, this monitor that I received from Foxtech, the actual clarity of it is way better than DVR. I mean, it's like literally like night and day. Like, this is great. The frame rate is way up high. I mean, like, it's just fluid as can be when you're making movements with your copter. And this thing, good luck. So the build quality of this guy, let's go ahead and take a look at it. It's got the dual receivers, which work surprisingly really well, even with the antennas that it came with, which I don't know where they are now. I had them somewhere. Oh, here they are, right here. These guys, I mean, these things are, they're junk, but I mean, even with just these guys on it, it was really good. I'm still not gonna say it was as good as this guy though. This receiver in this thing is phenomenal, but I mean, this was still way better than the 4-way diversity I received from, I think I got it from like Range FPV or something like that, but it's made by Bosscam, and yeah, this is pretty good. I can't lie. Like, I mean, it works really well as far as the diversity. Can't tell any switching or anything like that. And then I got into the rest of it. So you're probably looking at this and going, what's going on here, right? So did he drill a hole in it already? Yeah, he did. I ended up having to, okay, so this thing is really weird. For some reason, it does not have a power switch. So once you plug the battery in this thing, it's just on. And in order to turn it off, you have to take the battery out of it and disconnect the battery to turn it off. I don't know why it does not have a power switch. It doesn't make any sense to me. It probably will not make any sense to you. And it just doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't have a power switch. So I ended up having to make or install my own power switch, which was, I mean, it's fairly simple. I mean, I just basically, put the battery in, ran a regular, switch like off of one of the Nitro cards that I have, and just hooked up a 2-cell LiPo actually, and I ran this guy on the outside of it because, I mean, these LiPo batteries, you really don't know when they're dying, you know what I mean? So you kind of need some kind of warning ahead of time. So I put this thing on to kind of give me some forewarning before it dies, which is getting pretty low now, 3.6. So, and the menu options inside of this thing, I mean, for lack of better, I mean, they just suck. I mean, there's really not, I mean, it's got brightness, it's got contrast, it's got color. That's it. Brightness, contrast, color. There's no other than volume, which you're not going to use, right? So, there is no warning of low battery or nothing on the actual monitor. Like, there's just nothing. No UI. It's just dies on you. And I didn't think that was really cool. So, that's why I ended up putting this thing back here. And then also I put the switch, in case I just want to turn it off. So I'm in between flights. Like, why should I have to take the battery out, and go, I mean, that's like, seriously? I gotta go take the battery out of the back of the monitor to turn it off? Like, why would I, like, that's crazy. I don't have time for that. I just wanted to work. I'm just seriously like, somebody please answer me from Foxtech why this thing does not have a power switch. Like, that just does. I don't know why a device would even be made with a battery without a power switch. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, other than like, maybe that. I mean, it doesn't have any switches on it, but I mean, it doesn't need any. Once you plug it up, it's going to fly, right? But I mean, this needs a switch on it. So, yeah, I'd like to know why they didn't come with a switch. Who thought of that? So, other than that, the finish on the thing is actually pretty cool too. It's got like this rubberized feeling finish to it, which gives it a really, really flat appearance. And it's got this shroud or whatever you want to call it, this sunblocker or whatever. And it's a lot like this one, but this one is just way better. I mean, this thing is way better on the inside. Where this thing is it's still like a unfinished mold plastic. You can still see the moldings or whatever where it was pressed out and everything. I mean, honestly, they should have just sprayed the matte finish that's on the outside of the thing on the inside of here too. I don't know why they didn't, because that would help with the glare. Because when this thing is actually on, let me turn on with my makeshift switch I got. Look at that. You can see the glare. You see the reflection of my finger? That's the glare on the inside of this guy. So I'm gonna have to get something to fix that. I'm not sure what yet. I'm thinking of some things. And I mean, as you can see on this guy, there's absolutely none of that. I mean, there's no glare at all. I mean, it's just like you just see screen, and it's just nothing but screen. So it works out really well. I mean, you can see it's just no glare. Where this thing is just shining it up over here. Looks like it's got 3 monitors, actually 4 monitors. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, right? Alright, so anyway, yeah, but other than the fact that this thing doesn't have a switch, and I mean, little pet peeves like of course that's nothing. I'm just nitpicking about that. I mean, I can live with that, honestly. And the fact that the UI just absolutely just there's no real options here with this guy. I mean, other than that, the screen really good. I mean, it's not OLED quality. Of course, it's not going to look like your iPhone or your Galaxy S5 or anything like that. But I mean, for what we're doing in this hobby, this is more than enough. This is great. The diversity, great. The switches, the dip switches in the front, that's great too. However, I wish they had put a power switch there instead and put the dip switches in the back, but whatever. I guess it's whatever the engineers felt at that time. So, that's my review of these two guys. Also, if you're looking at this and it looks like that's got better color, it's because I said it's got more color in it, but this is more natural color. I mean, it's got a little bit of white out to it, but it's not too bad. This is way better than that. So, like I said, if you can do it with not having a switch or wiring it up yourself, go for this guy. Or you could actually tap it into your transmitter. I was trying to figure out how to do that, but I didn't feel like pulling more power from my transmitter in case, I mean, if it dies, I don't want to die altogether, right? I'd rather just have that die and still be able to at least control the thing. But yeah, so I didn't tap into the power out of the transmitter. I'd rather just have its own source. But if you can deal without a switch or wiring one up on your own, then this guy is probably your best bet. And then just buy a separate DVR and do it the old school way or whatever you want to call it, and just have the DVR on the side recording, because this right here, I mean, it does work. I mean, it's a great idea. It's a great concept. All in one. Everything's here. And they got a lot of things right. But the major important factors, the major important things, they got some of it wrong. That's really all I got.